Hey, what's going on, everybody? Lawrence Owen here, Colts Law as usual. And today, as you could tell in the title, we're going to talk about what canceling the 2021 NFL Combine and the repercussions of that. Okay. First and foremost, I decided to use this one. Hey, what's going on, Daryl Ingram? Appreciate you being here. I chose this background for a specific reason. This is field level of Lucas Oil Stadium. Now, what does that have to do with the cancellation of the Combine? Well, the Combine's been held at Lucas Oil Stadium and or the RCA Dome for a long time. So that's going to literally, that drops a lot of, a big event right outside of Indianapolis. These guys ain't coming in now. That's lost income for a lot of businesses in and around the Indianapolis area. So that's a huge, huge hit to Indy. What's going on, Jack? Appreciate you being here in the live stream. Now, obviously, that's not the only thing. And to be fair, it's really cool. It was a big benefit to the Colts, obviously, because, the Colts are already here. They're easily be able to go check out the players and stuff like that as they're here. So, yeah. Scared says the Combine is the reason why a lot of people, I don't know about most, but I'd say a lot of them get drafted. And the Combine makes huge modifications to people's big board, right? What's going on? Another lost soul. Appreciate you being here as well. Yeah, you think about this. The Combine is a place where hundreds of NFL hopefuls from college come in, do workouts, let GMs and coaches see them. They do interviews with them, and they're all in one simple place so that everybody could do it. Yes, it's hectic, but it's simple and easy for the entire NFL. Now, with COVID-19, obviously, I understand. They couldn't just be like, all right, anyone who wants to go has to be bubbled for 14 days before they show up. That ain't going to happen. I understand that. That's not going to happen. So they canceled it. Now, big boards move up and down because of the Combine, right? A guy runs a really high 40-yard dash or performs really well in the throwing or receiving movement, 3-cone, great score, high jump. Your performances and your interviews will raise and lower you down on big boards. And we've seen it massively in the past. We've seen guys, because of a great Combine, go from possible day 3 targets all the way up to day 2, sometimes close to day 1. And we've seen opposite of that too, where we've seen first-round targets drop drastically because they've had a bad Combine day. So Combine affects the draft drastically. And then you got to think about this. Now, all these people and players, coaches, they have to deal with personal pro days now at their colleges. And if you want to see them, you got to send somebody to look. You got to have a scout go look, whether it be your GM or one of his scouts that he has under him or something. And you can't, it's impossible to go and scout 200 people plus, 300, 400, 500 people. It's impossible for every team to do that. So there's a lot of players that's not going to get looked at by a lot of teams because there's no Combine. So interesting. Yes, Scared, good point. Ruggs became the number 1 wide receiver drafted because of his speed, right? He jumped CeeDee Lamb and the other guy that went to the Raiders, right? because Jerry Jeudy, because of his speed. Daryl Ingram asked, do you think with no combine, if teams will be more willing to trade for known commodities in league for draft picks? I could see people hitting free agency harder this year than what they will be in the draft, because they're all hoping that next year we'll have a draft. So I'm seeing a lot. There's going to be when March 17th hits, free agency is going to light up. And yes, I can see a lot of teams actually trading out their draft picks this year for future draft picks to teams that need to move up and just say, I want a good draft pick next year. Now, that benefits a lot of other teams that do homework throughout the year. Good drafting teams that do their own personal homework outside of the combine. Guys like Chris Ballard, right, who has a great group of scouts. Yeah. Ed Dodds, right, and his group. So you could legitimately see the Colts being able to trade up cheaper this year if they chose to give draft picks next year, because teams would be willing to move back because they have no idea what's going on this season. They'll have draft boards, obviously, but not everybody is equal in how they scout. A lot of scouting teams are a lot better than others. And it's just the truth. Yeah, Justin Jefferson was another one of that. Let's see here. Well, what about Kyle Van Noy? I don't know nothing about calling it. But anyhow, Toxic Tommy, if you have to go on, the Power 5 conferences will get even more dominant. It's yes, I see that. What's going on, Aunt Rogers? Appreciate you being here. So, yes, absolutely. Oh, Van Noy got cut. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Dan Got the Plan. Appreciate that. No, I didn't look. I didn't notice that. I've been busy today. Today has been one of those really busy days. I joined Green Bean Pod, the Jets guy, earlier. Then I'm doing this one. I'm also 6:30. I'm scheduled to join Bring the Juice podcast to talk about Yannick Ngakoue. And of course, I'm doing my Yannick film room, so that's eating all of my time. I haven't really gotten a chance to see a lot of news today itself. So yeah. Oh, you're good, Aunt. You're good, Aunt. So yeah, I actually not having a combine affects a lot of teams and a lot of players. And there could be this draft could be really, really filled with a lot of trade backs, right? I feel this could be a record in the amount of trades that happen. Not because of teams necessarily, are excited about it, about finding a specific player, but teams legitimately wanting to trade back to stock up draft picks for next year, especially once you get out of the first round. That's the deal. I could see a lot of second round picks being traded out of to get future picks next year so that they'll have an easier time of filling up their big board because of the hopes that there'll be a combine next year. Now, let me get a drink real quick. Ant has a lot of importance here. Good comment. I think the biggest factor not having combine is small school guys who want to get more attention. That's a good possibility. You got to remember, a lot of those small school guys also, generally are seniors, and a lot of your good ones are sent to the Pro Bowl, right? Or Pro Bowl, sorry, the Senior Bowl. But you got other guys, as you say, small school guys, like how about Florida International? If there was not, and this is the honest to goodness truth, if there was not a combine back in 2012, would T.Y. Hilton have been picked? That's the kind of thing that could legitimately just disappear this year because, I mean, it's difficult to check out things when there's no combine there. You're going to send your scouts to the bigger schools, to the bigger names, to check out the bigger names, players. As you just got done saying, Ant Rodgers. I really do believe that. Now, the problem that I have is, man, the combine is just such a good way. But a lot of people put too much stock into the combine as well, okay? Because the best way to look at stuff is through film. Because a player might perform better at a combine or perform worse at a combine than what he actually looks like on tape, right? For instance, let's look at Darius Leonard. If Chris Ballard went by Darius Leonard's combine results, like many people did on his 40 and stuff like that, he may not have picked him. That's why he was overlooked by a lot of people, but Ballard went by his film, right? He went by his film instead of his combine and said, you know what? This man is solid. We need to get him. So that's why I think a lot of these guys out here that do their homework will find gems in this draft falling because other teams haven't done the same research. So this could be a huge draft for those specific teams. The Saints, they got a great GM. They draft really, really well. The Colts, same way. They draft really, really well. So that's how I see it. This could be a really big, especially rounds 2 through 7, right? Really 2 through 5, because 6 and 7 are you're just kind of gambling on guys to see, yeah, they have upside. Let's see if we can't kind of mold them into something that can be a play addition to the team. But the rounds 2 through 5, those are a lot of guys that you have to do film room on. All right. Let's see here. I was literally about to say that film is more important than combine. It is by far. What's up, Well Sports? They could easily have the combine, not without quarantining people for 14 days beforehand. You got to remember, all these guys these are all college. Now, the pros, yes, they could pull that off. They're used to it. But these are all college kids on college campuses, okay, who run around and interact with hundreds and hundreds of other students on a daily basis. They would have to be quarantined for 14 days before the combine. So I don't see how, in order for it to have the effect that the NFL would be looking for, I just don't see how that would work. Toxic Tommy, drafting guys who look good on game film against the quality opponents than simply drafting workout warrior like Philip Dorsett. There you go. Now, it's not always about just quality opponents. I mean, you go to some of these smaller conferences out there, right? And they don't have quality opponents that you would expect. I mean, like I was talking about, FYU, they're not out there facing Alabama and stuff like that on a consistent basis, right? I mean, Ball State ain't out there, facing Michigan on a daily basis, or Ohio State. These are smaller schools, and you got to pay attention. And sometimes you just got to guess and test. You're like, all right, this guy is really performing very, very well and dominating everything in his conference. Let's go ahead and take a shot on him. Can he perform this well against quality opponents? Guys, I want to take a moment. I'm 16 minutes in. I would like you to please hit that like and subscribe button down here. That way, man, I'm only 40 subs away from 1,000. 40 subs. So hitting the like button helps me out because it helps with analytics. It gets my video out to more people. Subscribing obviously helps me out. Sharing my video to your social media also helps. So I appreciate that. Yeah. It's also, he kind of makes a big point, Ant Rogers does, about system players. A lot of teams draft guys because they are system players. Like they'll fit in their system really well. The Patriots, right? The Colts. Obviously, the Colts will also, every team goes off of, talent. You want talent, but you also want guys who's going to fit in your system and be able to succeed in that, because that's really, really. Well, looky there. I have a troll. You're right. I'm not a first round talent. I don't play in the NFL. I don't plan on playing in the NFL. Woohoo! Thanks. All right. Anyhow, this is great, man. No, my wife says don't acknowledge. No, I will acknowledge trolls because I'm here to have fun. It's a joke. All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's why I'm laughing. I don't care. All right. So, hey. So what do you, the biggest hit, I don't think the biggest hit for Indy with not having a combine is the draft itself. I think it's the monetary loss for the state of Indiana, okay? Because it helps. Obviously, Lucas Oil Stadium will makes money off the combine. The local businesses and stuff, they make money off of the combine because, all the people that shows up. So that really, really sucks for the local area. And, it's just a loss of money. And not just money, but exposure, right? Because the combine is nationally broadcast. And the Colts themselves don't get a lot of national media. So the combine is one of those specific things that really helps them out in that situation. It's one of those few events that gets nationally broadcast. And then when you bring all these players from coaches and players and stuff like that, and you bring them in, they get to see what kind of city and state we actually are and realize that Hoosier hospitality is a real thing. And that will allow, later down the road, players and coaches and stuff like that to realize when it's time, when they become free agents or whatnot, it makes it a little easier to bring them in to the team, to the city, because they've been here already. They know what the locale is like. So don't sell that short either. It gives them a chance to experience being a Hoosier for a short period of time. Let's see here. I'm looking down through the chats. Oh, yes, definitely. Daryl Ingram asked, do you think Chris Ballard, Ed Dodds, and Frank Wright go out to more pro days given that there's no combine? Every team will. Every team will. Because generally, the combine's a 3-day event. So during these 3 days that the combine is generally happening, they're going to have to travel. And there's going to be a lot of colleges and players that'll have their pro days during these 3 days. And that's where they're going to be at. So absolutely. Absolutely. And the plan says, I'm ready for the next pick, season 3. Isn't everybody who's a Colts fan? I mean, they actually, the Indianapolis Colts, their lawyers sent me and about 8 other guys who cover the Indianapolis Colts tweets and DMs stating that they had put in for a website called For the Next Pick so that they could put all of that content on that website. So that was a really cool thing that they did for us, just to give us a heads up. So that's really cool. Obviously, Colts.com will obviously still provide that, but this website will be an easier place to go back and look at all of it, throughout history, because they expect this to continue long term for the organization. So that's going to be a great thing to do. Obviously, you're not going to have combine stuff, but maybe we'll get some videos this time of them going to pro days and things. That would be kind of cool. I would like that, be able to see other fields and offices and other locker rooms and colleges and stuff like that. That'd be really neat. Yeah, Ed Dodds ain't the only one. Morocco Brown's not with the Colts anymore. He's now a GM somewhere, if I remember right. Is it the Atlanta Falcons? I can't. Somewhere in the NFC, if I remember correctly. No, like I said, the whole team. Yeah, Morocco Brown's gone. I thought he did. I thought Morocco Brown got the job. Oh, that's cool. Okay. See, I thought Morocco Brown got that job. Look, I believe you. I believe you. I'm just checking the internet real quick to find out what happened. He is still the director of the college scouting for the Indianapolis Colts in his 5th year. So awesome. I'm glad that he's still stuck around. All right. I mean, I would have been proud of him if he became the general manager for the Falcons, and I think the Falcons would have gotten a heck of a guy because the Colts are great, with what they do. But yeah, heck, I thought he was gone. I'm glad he's still around. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Appreciate that. I've been a very busy guy, so I can't keep track of every single detail. I try, but I can't, and that sucks. So while I'm here, I'm pretty much went over the combine, my thoughts on it. You guys, oh yeah, Jason David says he will be GM one day. Fully agree. Ed Dodds definitely will be as well. I got a little bit of time before I have to prepare before I have to jump off here and join Bring the Juice. So you guys got any questions or comments that you would like to ask me? Because I'm working on the Yannick Ngakoue film room right now. Is there a specific other player that you would like me to do maybe a film room on, or Devin Ward, do you think the Colts will trade 21 to Jacksonville for picks 33 and 46? I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, if there's a specific player at a position of need that can be a difference maker, like a massive difference maker, I would rather take him, right? Let's say, a top 5 left tackle or, a top 3 defensive end, pass rusher drops to 21, then you take them. You take them. Because high-end talent is hard to replace. And if you can get them with the draft, it's better to get them with the draft. Ant Rogers asked about Braden Smith. I've been thinking about that for a while. I might end up doing that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I might end up doing that. Scared says Chase Winovich. Hey, Scared, why don't you that's not a bad idea, but that might be something that you could bring up to Ray Route, and maybe he'll have me do it for the Patriots stream over there on DPN. I mean, I have no problem doing Chase Winovich. What's going on, McChicken? What's going on? Got a lot of people in here talking about Patriots. Sorry. What's your thoughts on Deatrick Wise, defensive end from Pats as a low-end tier signing? Honestly, I don't have one right now. I don't have an opinion on that yet. I haven't really looked at the film on that one. So I can't give you an honest answer. All right. But, and I'll be straight with people here. All right. If I know the guy, I'll give you my opinion. If I don't know him, I'm not going to make up some crap and tell you something. If I don't know him, I don't know him. I'll let you know. Okay. I haven't quite gotten into the draft yet either. I got some pro day film room that I need to go through. I got some game film room from college from last year and the year before that I need to go through. I'll start that March 17th, but right now I'm going to go with free agents. It's funny. I started saying that, and then Ant Rogers brings it up. I will be doing them, but since free agency starts a month earlier, I try to get the free agent film rooms out first. Then I work into the draft and start working on that because, timeline's going on. Ooh, another lost soul. Do I see any pass rusher people are sleeping on in the draft? Again, that'll be a question that I'll have to get back to you on after I look at some film. Okay? I haven't gotten into the film draft yet. Sorry. See, that's a problem. During the NFL regular season, I work hard, and I don't get a lot of time to spend on Saturdays watching games. I'm watching all the games of the NFL throughout the week and doing streams and stuff, so I don't really get to watch college that much. My college, I start watching games right at March 17th, and I watch tons of games. But I watch them in the effect of what's that called? Where it's broke down from time to time, from play to play. Where I'm not spending 3 hours watching a game. I'm spending 45 minutes watching a game and just watching the plays and not the commentary, right? Because I give a rat's butt what the commentaries are saying. I'm making my own opinion up. I'm not going to go off somebody else, because if I'm listening to the commentary, then my own opinion could be adjusted subconsciously from what I'm hearing other people talking about. I'd rather have my own personal opinion. JDM18 says we should re-sign Autry and let go Houston. Honestly, I'd be okay with re-signing either one of them. Not both, but either one of them. And both of them will probably run about $9-10 million. Okay. I see a good fit with Tyus Bowser. As good fit as Sam and situational pass rusher. Do you see that as a fit? I think there's better fits than Tyus Bowser. I get wanting him as a Sam. I get that. But right now, because of our linebackers and how quick they are, I would rather have both our defensive ends be pass rushing ends rather than one. Oh, well, Tyus Bowser is a Sam linebacker. Sam linebackers don't. I'm used to saying that right defensive end is also a Sam, but it's not. But that's kind of his job, the edge stop sometimes. Sam don't get a lot of pickup. And the Colts run too much nickel to really worry a whole lot about Sam. That's kind of reason why I don't. Anthony Walker might not, probably, most likely, won't sign back with the Colts. Okay, and it sucks, but the Colts just don't run their traditional 4-3 a whole lot. They're in a 4-2-5 a lot. If the Dolphins release Kyle Van Noy, should the Colts take a look at him? Tina Matherly says, hey, so from what I'm understanding, he has been released. And I'm telling you that I'm almost 100% positive that Chris Ballard and his team has already looked. All right. I haven't done a lot of looking because of the simple fact that I didn't know that he was released. And I've been busy on other stuff today. But definitely I could go check out some film, see what I like and dislike about him. I'm watching highlights. I don't understand what you're saying there. What do you mean I'm watching highlights? No, when I say 45-minute game, that's every play. Every play of a game. You ever watch Game Pass? You can watch an entire game 45 minutes. Because technically it's a 60-minute game, right? But a lot of time runs off in between plays, between the snaps of the football. So legitimately, there's about 45 minutes of action in a 60-minute game. You get what I'm saying? So that's not highlights. It's every snap. If Quiddy Pay, J.C. Horn, or Greg Newsom falls to 21 second round, who would I rather have? Again, Devin Ward. I haven't really looked too much. I know all the names, haven't looked at all the film, so I can't give you an answer to that. I can't. I know that I've seen a lot of people talking about him, but I really need to start looking at it. But starting the 17th, I'll be looking at it. Pay isn't going to drop that low. McChicken says he's a undersized 3-4 outside linebacker. Yes, he is. He is. But you know what? The Colts have undersized defensive ends. The Colts have guys that are like 6'4", 6'5", 230. Okay? Defensive ends. We have a very light, fast front seven. Sarah Small, Colts should go after Corey Davis or Samuel. Trade for Njoku or Ertz. Okay, so you don't have to trade for Njoku. Or no, that is Njoku. Yeah, okay. For some reason, Ngagwe is what I was thinking. I'd rather have Njoku than Ertz. Younger. Hasn't fallen off over the last couple years the way Ertz has. And I would take Curtis Samuel all day. All day. I didn't say the starters were 230. We have starters. Our starters, both Houston and Autry, are your normal size defensive ends in a 4-3. But we do have like rotational pieces, pass rushers that are 230, 240, 250, right? So that's what I was saying. Yes. For instance, Darius Leonard plays between 215 and 220. He said so himself. Helps keep his speed up. If I remember right, Kamoko Toure is like 245. I may be off 5 pounds or so, but last I checked, he was pretty light for a defensive end. Yeah. I think this is going to benefit the Colts a little bit because some of these guys that Chris Ballard normally picks, like in the second round, he might be able to wait a round or two to grab, because other teams don't have the experience his team has at doing film work. So, all right, guys. So that's pretty much the consequences of the 2021 NFL Combine being canceled. And it sucks for a lot of teams. I don't think it's going to affect the Colts near as much. I can't say it for other teams because I don't know how good their scouting groups are on a lot of teams, but it could legitimately affect them if they rely too heavily on the combine, or if they don't go to a lot of pro days already naturally. That's a good question. I will answer this before I go. Do I think drafting or bringing in another quarterback would negatively affect Wentz? No. Drafting a quarterback in the first or second round would, because that'd be the same situation he would have been in with, Jalen Hurts. But if Chris Ballard picks up another 4th or 5th round quarterback as, practice squad, scout team, someone to fight with Jacob Eason for the backup role, I don't see how that would affect Wentz at all. But I don't see Ballard using a 1st or 2nd round pick on a quarterback when he just traded a 2nd and a 1st basically for Carson Wentz. And I'm going to say it's a 2nd and 1st because I'm going to hope and pray that he succeeds. And if he succeeds, then that 2nd round conditional becomes a 1st. So I don't see him spending another 1st or 2nd on another quarterback. Yes, I did see that this morning, 10 a.m. You're talking about Darius Leonard. Yes, he had a charity that he just went out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's pushing 40 minutes. I got to eat something before I join Cody. Actually, I'm joining Cody, if I remember correctly, on Bring the Juice podcast here in 45 minutes. So make sure you guys go check out Bring the Juice's podcast. He should have it up. It's probably sitting on wait. Join us there. Until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. And have a good one. Please hit that like button. Subscribe.